Okay. You know how every streaming service is trying to do their version of the Justice League or Avengers? They're going back and forth. This new team of superheroes that are obvious knockoffs off of every one of them. That's what we get with Guardians of Justice. It's not good. You can turn the video off. It's not good. I can't tell if they started off trying to be super serious and then it didn't work, so then they went as goofy as possible after like the second episode, or it was supposed to be stupid from the beginning. I understand if it was stupid from the beginning, but this is really low budget and it's awful. I took notes, so I'm gonna have to like keep referring to my notes. So, Amazon has The Boys and Invincible. Disney has all the Marvel stuff, and HBO Max has all the DC stuff. And Netflix is just kind of trying, because they had the Guardians, or not Guardians, the Defenders, and the street-level superheroes from Marvel, Punisher and Luke Cage and whatnot. And those, they're pretty good. Daredevil and Iron Fist. So this is like Netflix trying again, because Jupiter's Legacy sucks so bad. And they went the complete opposite extreme side with this one than they did with Jupiter's Legacy, whatever it was called. Jupiter's Legacy was ridiculously boring. It took forever to get to the point. They could have filled that much. We get more information from a 2-hour Marvel movie, and we don't need that the other stuff. The series, a series of this is our origin, an entire season of crappy origin that it took so long to get through, and then once you get through it, you're like, I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore because it took too long to get there, and I slept through most of it. Guardians of Justice is like watching a strobe light. It's so paced at an ADD level. They're 22 minutes episodes. I got to episode 4 and then I just quit because I got too pissed off. I couldn't. It bugged me how much they ripped off, and it felt like if they rip off enough, not one company can sue them for one thing. But I'll go through my notes. So the production value, it's like if you bought DC Universe from Wish and gave it the production value and budget of tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills. It's painful. It's painful how much like the DCU is trying to be. And it's Netflix, so they're just going to do one season and they're done. That's their how they see success is one season, and we made money because we have your money. We own you. Conglomerate corporation from Rocko's Modern Life. So it starts off not Superman, named Kal, commits suicide with the bullet made from not Krypton. Or not kryptonite. Not Batman is in charge of not Wonder Woman, not Green Arrow, not Hawkman, not Flash, not DC's Captain Marvel, also known as Shazam, not Aquaman, not Nightwing, not Spider-Man, not Robin, and not whoever else they can decide to rip off. I'll probably also mention this a couple of times in my notes because it's in there somewhere. They rip off Nightwing in such a way that instead of Dick Grayson, which they give him the new backgrounds on all these characters, they're all exactly the same. Not Robin is named Mick Mason. Dick Grayson of DC is ripped off with the same origin. His parents died in the circus, but they named him a Mick Mason, and he's definitely not Nightwing, and they definitely didn't give not Batman a Tim Drake character. It's set in the 80s. It's set in the Kung Fury did it really well. This is set in Kung Fury's universe of like brutal gore and violence, and it's over the top, and it's kind of annoying at this point. Notes. Not Mr. Freeze and not Scarecrow are briefly in it in animation, and this is another thing that kind of bugs me. They bounce back and forth between live action, CGI, obvious green screen, 8-bit, claymation, animation, and whatever else they can throw in. It almost like they have the budget, but they didn't want to use the budget because they spent the budget on drugs. Like I said, it's a gimmick that gets really old, and it was more than 25% different, but not enough. Like not enough 25% different to be counted as different. Somebody who wanted to plagiarize, but try not to make it too obvious by. Okay, you know how cosplayers will go to a con with blue stormtrooper with Adidas logos all over it, so it's Russian tracksuit stormtrooper. Technically it's not 100% of the original, but it's different enough to be different. It's stupid. This movie was written by people who have only experienced the 1980s on TV. And if this high definition camera is working right, you can see that my eye is twitching. They ripped off Cerebro from X-Men. It's a jumbled mess. By the third episode, they shoehorned in the white supremacy. The big baddie is for that episode is like if you took the KKK and mixed it with Cobra from G.I. Joe, so they ripped off G.I. Joe. But the main baddie, the lady, she can't say nuclear. All the weapons are nuclear. They're nuclear warheads. Lady, your country invented the language. You can say nuclear. Is it entertaining? No. Is it good? No. Like I said, it's about as entertaining as a strobe light, and the pacing is just about that speed. Netflix doesn't want to give you time to absorb the information. They don't want you to marinate on what you've just seen, because they don't want you to think that maybe this thing that I'm watching sucks. So I definitely had to pause it to realize I disliked it. The episode, it happened so fast. Kung Fury was like 30 minutes, and that happened fast enough. Well, this happens at like triple the speed. Consume product, get ready to consume next product. They rip off Spider-Man, Hawkman, Red Alert, They rip off video games, other properties, Captain Power, G.I. Joe, Dino Saucers, Silverhawks, Street Frogs. At one time, they rip off Venture Brothers. Venture Brothers is a parody rip-off of the Hanna-Barbera universe, and they do that. So it's a rip-off of a rip-off of several other rip-offs. At one point, the not Spider-Man hits an access panel doorbell, and it plays the Jetsons theme song. They ripped the Jetsons doorbell. Doom 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 doom. Yet they ripped that off. Like I said, the animation thing. They end up ripping off Cool World and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, because at one point there's like a half animated universe at the same time and in the same panels, and it just looks weird. It's really off. It reminds me of Amped 3. For those of you who played Amped 3 on Xbox 360, it's a lot like that, but way faster and more drugs. Have you seen a Bruno Mattei movie? Maybe a parody movie that Stone Gremlins, the Cinema Snob people tried to do, or did well, where they made fun of Bruno Mattei. This is Bruno Mattei. If Bruno Mattei was, I think he died. If he was brought back to life and given Adderall, cocaine, and meth all at the same time, this is what you would get. Bruno Mattei movies are poorly edited, jump cut, randomized movies. Don't believe me? Go watch one. Let's see. It's almost like it's making fun of Bruno Mattei. If Cinema Snob and Stone Gremlins did this, I would enjoy it. It would be a better movie. Way funnier too. They definitely ripped off Shazam with the Power of Six Gods character. Really? They rip off Snowflame. They rip off everything. Everything's a rip off in this entire universe. And don't watch it. Guardians of Justice, unless you want to kill some brain cells, or you're at work and you need something to listen to, or I don't know. Don't take it seriously. If you're going to take it seriously, you're just getting really pissed off. It bugged me because it was like a poor parody of everything. And they even make that statement too, like, oh, not Aquaman, what do you do, talk to dolphins? What kind of superpower is that? Yeah. Official release Marvel and official release DC are starting to suck, or have for a while, at producing a serious version of their universes, so we don't need a parody, at least not yet, if the official is really bad. Netflix, don't. Just stop. I wasted an hour watching that crap. Thumbs down.